got a new fish house this season. Tell me a little bit about what you're going to be pulling behind your rig.
Yeah, so this year I'm going to be using a core ice house. I'm actually pretty excited about it. It's a 6.5 by 15, and it's got the stub nose on it. So it's a wheelhouse, but it's a special one because it's a hybrid, which means it's a skid house wheelhouse combo. And the reason why I'm excited about rocking that this year versus usually going the portable route or going like the black hole route or even renting or going through rentals where you can get ice houses, wheelhouses, is I can bring it out to the lake like a wheelhouse, drop it down once, and I can just drag it on the skids anywhere I want to go. So if I miss that ridge or miss that rock point or that hump that I'm trying to get next to by 5-10 feet, all I got to do is pull my lines up and drag it along. It's going to be faster than a portable, and it's going to be more convenient than a wheelhouse having to lift it and drop it. So yeah, I'm really excited, trying to get everything dialed in this year over the last couple of weeks and over the next few weeks here before I can bring it out. But if you haven't seen the core ice houses, they're super light. They're very well built. The thing that they stand behind is the quality of their builds. There's no wood in it. There's nothing that's going to rot, mildew, mold, decay. Even the cabinets are made out of a composite. They're really nice, and I'm excited for how light they are and where I'm going to be able to use it this year. But yeah, I'm excited.
You got the new core, you got the snub. What do you have on the calendar this year? I know somebody asked you about if you're planning on coming to the Wisconsin show, but what destination lakes are you planning on trying that core out on this year?
Yeah, don't have it fully dialed yet. Actually, this last weekend, I was starting to look at what are the dates that I want to try to target some overnights. I'll be doing less overnights this year. I think I've got a total of maybe 10 or 12 overnights I'll do this year. Normally, I do every other weekend, but I've got a baby this year, so it's a little bit of a different ice season for me this year. But I'm planning on hitting Lake of the Woods for sure. I'm planning on spending a lot more time this year on Lake Mille Lacs. The last year to 2 years, I haven't spent as much time out there. I've maybe only hit it once or twice, and I'm only about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on where on the lake that we want to go from it. So it's actually a day trip worthy lake for me. Plan on hitting that. Plan on hitting Lake Minnetonka. But then you never know. Like I might throw a Devil's Lake in there. I might swing up to Michigan. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure. Do you have any lakes that you're thinking I need to make sure that I hit?
You know, I've got some of those local secret lakes that we got to keep on the down low, but
Yeah.
you know, my plan this year, I'd love to get up to Lake of the Woods this season. Probably we'll get out to Otter Tail County and hang out with those guys a little bit. Randy Olson out there, and the crew from Otter Tail Lakes would be a lot of fun to go out and hang out with those guys, get into some big panfish. You know, I've got a few other North Metro places I might try out and try to get into a few Walters, but you know, just kind of run around, maybe take a run up to Mille Lacs. Mille Lacs is always a good time. Just it's clear water. There's big walleyes. You know, I know it's not a place to go to catch a dinner, but it's always kind of a fun time to get up there in the second largest city in Minnesota over the wintertime anyway.
Yes. Yeah, Mille Lacs is one of those lakes that I feel like in open water, you don't even need to try to catch the walleye, and you're gonna probably find them and get into them. But ice fishing is sometimes pretty tough up there if you're not moving around and trying to find them. But I'll tell you, on that lake, if you go out there, you should let me know. Maybe we can link up and go out there. I know a few really good jumbo perch spots. I usually do the perch, one of the perch tournaments on that lake during the ice seasons. And I think last year I placed second or third. The year before I won it. So I think I figured out ice fishing, at least where the jumbo perch are. Still haven't dialed in the ice walleye on Mille Lacs, but maybe that'll be this year if I put enough time in. And the new shack, of course, will help too, moving around.
Yeah, I got a chance to go out with people that know what they're doing, and I always try to keep their secrets safe. But you know, I get people to show me where they are, and it is fun to go out there when you know that there's going to be some fish there and get some action. But like you said, Mille Lacs is always a challenge, and it's one of those lakes that it always kind of baffles me when people say, you know, I've got some new people to ice fishing, and I want to get them up to Mille Lacs, and all I want to say is, don't do it.
No.
That's not where you take new people ice fishing.
No, I know a couple people that went up there. Is a family ice trip, fishing trip, and I think they were up there for 3 or 4 days, and they caught like one fish, and it was rough, right? And so they went out of some rentals, and unfortunately, they didn't keep them on the fish or anything. Not their fault. It was just a tough, cold spell that came through, and yeah, Mille Lacs is one of those lakes you need to be able to put the hours in to really figure it out. Or go through a guide service is always a great idea if you're trying to figure out new water. Go through, I pay guides at times to show me new water if I'm not familiar with it, just to understand how the lake is laid out, what's unique about that body of water. And then from there, you can kind of go and figure it out yourself. But it's always a good idea, and it helps support the local businesses there too. But yeah.
Yeah, we just got a message from Dave S. He says, quiet, Ottertail is a secret.
Yeah, the worst kept secret, maybe.
There are definitely some spots that are secrets there, but the whole county isn't a secret. We'll just say that. It's become pretty well known as sort of a panfish mecca. Logan Long joined the broadcast as well. And Logan's got a podcast coming out pretty soon too. Can't wait to see that and hear that coming out. Dave S says, is red 100% ice now, or has the wind kept it off? I don't know. I think upper red is starting to look that way. It looks pretty well covered. I know there was some real serious winds up there today.
Yeah, I know yesterday it was iced over all the way. But with the wind, I mean, that could just open all the way back up, like you say, right? So I didn't check it today, but I checked the satellite yesterday, and it definitely was locked up.
Yeah, it looks pretty rough out there. It may take a little while to kind of get everything punched down so you can move around on it. It's like a jigsaw puzzle got kind of poured out on a table right now, the way it looks out there. But it'll definitely stiffen up with the temperatures that we have coming when that wind calms down. People are going to be out there real soon.
Definitely. Yeah, I think maybe even this weekend, some of the places on Upper Red, we're starting to let walkouts go. So we'll see if that holds true or if they have to push them off. And I know one of the resorts there started posting that starting the weekend of December, look at the calendar here, December 16th, they're planning on having some of their houses out on the ice. So granted, that's 1, 2, 3 weekends away or 3 weeks away, but they're expecting it to freeze up pretty quick. Temperatures are looking good up there, that's for sure.
Alex, you talked a little bit earlier about the black hole.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. I know that's something that you've been fishing with for a couple of years. I'm pretty sure you're still working with them. I see you did some stuff put a video up with them not too long ago. Tell me about the black hole and how that worked out for you.
Yeah. So I'll just say this. So the cool thing about my content in my channel, Alex Timm on YouTube and on Facebook as well, is that I don't do any exclusive deals with any brands. I won't work with just clam or just otter or just black hole or just core ice or just, I'm Under Armour fishing. Like I won't work with any of them in particular because my content is really around the gear and the tech around fishing and particularly ice fishing this time of year. And I want to be able to use it all. I want to say what I want to say. I want to be honest. I want to be transparent and unbiased. And so the cool thing about that is that if I'm using a product, it's because I really want to use the product. The last 2 years, I actually reached out to the guys at Black Hole, and I was using the Sasquatch model 2 years ago. I used the Beast model last year, and this year they came out with a new one, the Beast Extreme. If you don't know anything about the Black Hole ice shacks, they're online Black Hole ice shacks and Black Hole Outdoors. They are essentially a steel wheelhouse frame, crank down, crank up, with a core IntelliCore floor in it. So just like the core ice shacks, they have the same floor, and then it's got a flip over on top of it. So it's your perfect hybrid where it's incredibly lightweight. You can use it as a trailer year round. You can pull your machine onto it, and then you can drag it around on the ice, and it's lighter than pretty much anything else that you're going to see out there. So I did a lot of ice camping and ice fishing out of it last year and the year before. And I absolutely loved it. But yeah, I mean, they're great guys there. I helped them announce the Beast Extreme. I've got another video coming out here in the next couple of weeks around that. It's a 16-foot long trailer with a 3-foot V, and that's going to allow you to get your tracked crew cab side by side on it to get it to and from the lake and move it around. They're really incredible. Black Hole Outdoors, a lot of great guys that work there. So yeah, check them out, or go online and check out some of the videos online too if you want to. I've got quite a few out, and a lot of other people do too. But they're really, really nice, and they're budget friendly, meaning you can get a lot of the same experience that you'd get out of a wheelhouse because you have that hard floor under you. You can crank it down, crank it up with all your stuff in it, but it's a fraction of the price of a permanent shack. And that, I think that's where a lot of people really like it. And then year round, it's an open bed, flat bed trailer that you can literally do whatever you want with it. So they're pretty great.
Sounds like you're gonna have a pretty busy driveway this winter.
So I'm not going to be, I might get out with Black Hole Outdoors, trying out one of their shacks, but I'm not going to be housing one of them or using it frequently. I'm so excited about the Core Ice in being able to use it in the skid mode that I think that's going to be my go-to this year. I kind of want to do like a time test video this year where I go out with a portable and I say, all right, I want to move 30 feet that way and start a camera in a timer. How quickly can I pick up my stuff off the ice, flip it over and move over, and then flip it all back? And then do the same thing in the Core House. How quickly can I move? Because I know in the Core House, all it is reel in your line, hop on the ATV and hit the gas and stop and auger your hole. It's just going to be a completely like unlock new potential because you can go over anything you want. You don't need to get down to the ice. You don't need a plowed road. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it, but I'm willing to go whoever's got the best option. Like, let's go, let's check it out. Let's get the videos out there for everybody to see. I'll talk about the things I like about it, the things I don't like about it, the things I wish they'd improve. And I would say that's one of the really cool things about Black Hole Outdoors. The first year that I used it, I told you, I do unbiased reviews and I'm transparent. I don't have any exclusivity to these guys, but I use their stuff because I like it. Black Hole Outdoors, the first year I did a 1 year in review video at the end of the ice season. And I listed about 15 things that I wish they would have improved on it moving forward because I thought it would help them. I kid you not, the next ice season, so last year, they made almost every single one of those improvements to the ice shack. So I, of course, had to go back and be like, all right, let's try it this year. And I had so many people reach out to me and say, thank you for saying these things. We're now buying it because this thing is fixed that we've always wanted, and it makes so much more sense. And Jason at Black Hole, the owner there, is just great to work with. But yeah.
They know when they send it with you, and I saw a ton of videos of you using it. So I think they know that advice that you're delivering to them is based on an actual user out there putting the time in with it. I saw you took it up to Lake of the Woods. I mean, you use this thing. It didn't just hang out in your backyard and
Right.
sit in the driveway. You put it to use. So I think the advice that you gave them was probably pretty strong advice. And that's something you do. I mean, you do a bunch of reviews, and it's something that I wrote up in the email today we sent out, is that your reviews are very thorough. I remember when you were doing all the heater tests. I mean, you really put a lot of time and effort into doing these things, and I think that people that watch you hopefully can appreciate that. But Alex, I know you do this show every Tuesday night. It is your podcast, your geared podcast. Go ahead and plug that. Let people know what that's all about.
Yeah, in addition to all the videos on the channel, Alex Timm on YouTube and on Facebook, I try to stream every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Central, a podcast. It's a video podcast called Fishing Gear and Tech News Podcast. And it's everything from news about the latest gear that's announced, and it's year round. So right now, of course, it's all about ice fishing. But then once we get to March, April timeframe, we shift to open water. So we're talking about the newest tackle, the gear for your boat, for ice fishing, like you name it. Like the innovations. We talked about some AI technology back earlier in the fall in how that was going to be disrupting the industry. We talk about all of those things, but then we also announce a lot of the new gear that's coming out, and we do interviews and have special guests on from some of the brands. We had somebody from Eskimo, an actual employee of Eskimo ice fishing gear, a few weeks back hop on and talk about their gear. And in fact, tomorrow night, we've got Matt Johnson from Clam Outdoors that's joining us. And again, one of the really cool things is because I don't have exclusivity with any brand, and I won't, is that we can have anybody that the audience wants on that can talk about all the stuff, and we can say what we want, and we can just be honest. And it's a really good dialogue. We try to keep them to a short 30 to 60 minutes. We tried to keep it under 45 if we can, but usually they're around that 45-minute mark, jam-packed with value. We come in with an agenda in specific topics, and then we usually wrap up with some free Q&A at the end. So if you're looking to just, geek out about fishing gear and tech and the news in the industry, what companies are acquiring who, we talk about it every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. on my YouTube channel.
Alex, is there anything that you wanted to talk about before we let you go tonight?
Just be safe. It's early ice out there. I know we're all itching to get out, including myself. Bring your safety gear, your ice picks. Make sure you got ice cleats on. Make sure if you've got a float suit, rope, the buddy system, make sure at least somebody knows where you are. Try to go with a buddy if you can. Just be safe out there, but have a lot of fun this year. And I hope to run into you guys either at the shows out on the ice or over on my channel on the podcast too. So thanks for the opportunity. This was a ton of fun.